Welcome to week 18 of my day trading journey, and this week I decided to spice things up a little bit and make some rule changes. My current rule was basically just a daily limit of 3 total trades, but I decided to change that into a daily limit of 2 bad trades. That basically means that I could take as many trades as I want, but once I take 2 bad trades, I gotta stop for the day. Now, what makes a bad trade? I don't know. You could argue like a majority of my trades are bad, so this rule was kind of vague, and instead of defining it, I kind of just left that judgment fall to me when I was trading, which is a bad idea because in the moment, I sometimes get a little delusional, but I know I get delusional, so I also set a daily loss limit of $125, give or take a few bucks, which should act as my daily trigger to stop trading for the day if I lost that much money. So with that, let's get to the trades. So to start off the new week, I saw at the beginning of the day, we were staying in more of a range from around the 600s to the 20,000s. So for the first trade, after seeing price hold and bounce up here and maybe a little bit of FOMO, I got in long. But this candle got quickly shut down and stopped me out for a loss of $32. Then after price got slapped down to here, so I ended in short after this break and retest of this level. And we did end up hitting my target for a profit of $112. But I then realized that I took this trade on a demo account. So fuck. I usually use my demo account to help get rid of my boredom and just jump on a bunch of random trades that are pretty much just gambles. This time though, I forgot to switch back to my live account. So yeah, this fat trade doesn't count. After that, I might have been a little tilted, so I hopped back on my live account and jumped in a short here to see if we could fall all the way down towards the area near the 600s, which was the bottom of the range for my pre-market plan. However, because of my trash entry, I just tightened up my stop loss to prevent any excessive losses from this trade, and yeah, I got stopped out for a loss of $16. Later, we did end up dropping down to the bottom of the range and just bounced right back up. I probably should just stop trading because I already hit my 2 trash trades limit for the day and was still low-key tilted, but I love breaking rules, so even though price bounced from the bottom of the range and was probably more likely to keep coming back up, I just went in short because I was salty. Here I was basically just hoping price would drop back down a little bit more before actually recovering from that fat drop earlier, and price did drop back down, just not as much as I hoped for before bouncing back up and stopping me out for a loss of $28.50. So yeah, not a great start with my new rules, but yeah, end of the day here with a loss of $81.72. So today was another trash trading day for me. At the start of the day, I was feeling bearish if we could crack these 500s. So for the first trade, I saw price shoot down after this little pullback, so I got in short. I was a little late with my entry, so my stop loss was kind of huge. But after seeing this move get bought up a little, I tightened up my stop loss above this wick because it seemed like we were just going to reverse back up. And yeah, we did, and I got stopped out for a loss of $52. Then price was holding pretty well up here and kind of consolidating, so I hopped in along thinking we could just be in more of a range today and put my target for the 600 area. Price did shoot up, but got stopped down a little, so I was a little scared that this was a fake move or something and might have moved my stop loss a little higher, but I should have just left my stop loss at break even or the OG spot because I ended up getting stopped out here for a small gain of $19.50 right before price jumped all the way back up to my target. So yeah, after that, price ended up getting denied a little here at the 650s, which is the level that price kept getting rejected yesterday. So I was thinking this was going to be the reversal. I hopped in a short after seeing this candle get rejected and kind of formed a lower high, but this ended up being a dead zone with no freaking volume, and it was looking more of like price just consolidating before shooting back up. Because of that, I was tempted to bail out early or even reverse my position and go in long, but I just ended up holding, and yeah, price shot up and stopped me out for a loss of $40. So with that, I probably should have stopped here, but I was so exhausted from that last trade and just starved for volume that I kind of just FOMO jumped into long thinking this breakout would just skyrocket because it looked like some volume was coming back in, but nah, price got slapped down and volume died out. So I probably should have just bailed out because the idea of a fat breakout was wrong. Instead, I had the bright idea to reverse the trade and go in short. My thought process was that if these green candles don't have that fat volume behind it for a breakout, then it's probably more likely that it's a fake and we'll just fall back down. However, since I already lost a little bit of money from my original long though, I was a little scared of being wrong on the short and losing even more money on this trade, so I ended up lowering my stop loss thinking this red candle was the beginning of the rejection. But price was a little bit more stubborn and came to give my stop loss a little kiss, which cost me a total of $53.50 on this flip-flop trade. And yeah, I should have just kept my stop loss where it was originally on this short because the trade worked out a little later, so fuck. So yeah, to wrap up this trash day for me, I'm down $134.70. Alright, new day today, and the last couple of days I have been breaking my new rule of no more than 2 bad trades per day, so today I'm planning on sticking to that rule. For today, it felt more like we could stay in a similar range as yesterday from the 550s to 700s, so for the first trade, I saw that we were already in a downward move, and price kept getting rejected here at the 620s, so I got in short. I was targeting the bottom of my pre-market range, and price slowly was slicing its way down. As my target was about to be hit, this red candle got bought up, but I held on, and price came back down and hit that target for a profit of $127. Then price was kind of consolidating near the lows here, so I was thinking maybe we could just break break this level and plummet down, so I got in short on this fat red candle that broke the level, but that got bought up pretty quickly and I just got stopped out for a loss of $47. After that, price tried to bounce but got stopped down again, so I re-entered a short on this lower high as it seemed like buyers were just gone. I was targeting the 480s, which was basically betting that we would just crack this level here, and we did, so I lowered my target a little bit more to see whether we would just plummet for the rest of the day or if we could hit the lows from yesterday and just bounce right back up. I did have my stop loss trail price to cover my ass, but I ended up lowering my target even more to the 400s because it started to feel like price was just gonna plummet. However, with this ambitious target, I probably should have also loosened up my stop loss a little, but I didn't, and that got hit, which stopped me out for a nice profit of $143.50. After that trade, I did a quick check on the 15-minute time frame to actually verify if my idea of price plummeting was right or not, and it did look like price could easily plummet to the 350s or 200s if we just broke past the 460 area where price bounced before, and we ended up flying past the 460s, so I might have got some FOMO and just jumped in a short all the way down here. Since the entry was a little trash, I didn't have a good stop loss, so I just timed it to kind of trail price, and yeah, I got stopped out for a quick loss of $17. Realistically, I should have entered way earlier or just waited a little bit longer for a better entry because that would have played out. And with that trade, I kind of counted that as my second bad trade for the day, so I just stopped trading here with a profit of $199.54. So today it looked like the market recovered basically all of the losses from yesterday already, so I was feeling a little bullish if we could crack these 500s, but today was a little more volatile, so I might have thrown away all my logic and just went crazy. So right at market open, price zoomed past the 500s and I decided to go in short for my first trade because I was trying to get a quick scalp on a possible rejection or retracement of that early move, and price did quickly pop down, but this candle started to get bought up, so I decided to bail out and cash in a quick $35. Later I was tempted to get in a trade here, but I wanted to wait a little bit longer, and then price just skyrocketed without me. As price was skyrocketing up, I ended up popping in along on this tiny pullback, and it did pop up real quick, but price was like a few points away from my target before falling back down and stopping me out for a small profit of $18.50. With price falling back down, I decided to get in a short to catch the move down, but that candle turned right back around and stopped me out for a loss of $40.50. Then right after stopping me out, price just plummeted, so that hurt, and I might have been a little tilted because I decided to re-enter in a short after seeing this bounce get rejected. However, again, this candle reversed on me and stopped me out for a loss of $40, and yeah, again, price dropped right after, so I was fuming at this point. So I might have jumped in another short betting that we would crack the support area and head back down to the pre-market levels, but there were still some buyers here and price shot up and stopped me out for a loss of $40. I probably should have stopped here or taken a quick break, but I didn't, and I was stubborn and jumped back in another short. I was basically just tilted at this point and shouldn't have taken this trade at all, but I did and paid the price of $40.50. So with that, I was too tilted and decided to jump in another trade, but this time as a long. Since I was already getting close to hitting my max daily loss limit that I set for myself, I kind of put my stop hella tight because I didn't want to lose too much money on this trade, and yeah, price just nicked my stop loss for a loss of $27.50 before climbing up to my target. So yeah, I don't know, basically I was just out of control today and threw out 7 trades in like an hour. Like I said earlier, I think once I saw it was a more volatile day, my brain kind of just stopped working, and after getting tilted a little bit, it all went downhill from there. In total though, I'm down $135.68 today. Alright, it's Friday, and for today, it looked like we were going to be more of a range from the 500s to 700s if these levels could hold. So for the first trade, I got in a long after seeing price bounce off the 500s. I was a little ambitious with my target because I was thinking we could shoot up hella, and it was looking pretty good until this fat red candle slapped price down, and I ended up just bailing for a small gain of $34. A little bit later, this fat green candle appeared and ripped up like 50 points, so I got along here thinking this could be the move up I wanted earlier, and nope, it got shut down pretty quickly for a loss of $39.50. However, price did end up shooting up to the 630s like I wanted, but this time I hopped in a short after seeing price get rejected again. Price was going lower here, but low-key kept getting bought up, so I was getting a little scared for my short, and after this strong green candle, I might have reversed my position and gotten a long, but I instantly regretted that and just bailed out for a total loss of $47.50 on this. And yeah, I should have just held that short because we did end up dropping down to the bottom here. After hitting the bottom, price kind of bounced up, so I got on a long trying to play the range to the top, and it was going pretty well until I got fucking stabbed by this fat red candle out of nowhere that stopped me out for a small gain of $7. Later, we ended up breaking down below the 500, so I got in short here on that pullback. I was targeting the 400s initially, and I was ready to sit in this trade for a while because breaking this 450 level could take a little bit of time and some consolidation. I did eventually end up just lowering my target even more to the 370s because I was thinking if price was going to plummet, we could go a little bit further to this level I had marked. And shortly after, we did get that fat breakdown past the 450s, but that got bought up, so I moved my stop loss up a little bit to give the trade a little bit more room to breathe. But after sitting in this trade for like 40 minutes already, I was kind of getting a little impatient, so after this breakdown, I lowered my stop loss a little bit more, wanting price to just fall, but that got instantly bought up and just stopped me out for a gain of $44. All I'm saying though is I probably should have just held that fucking short because the entry was pretty good and we did end up breaking down to my target like another 40 minutes later. But instead of that, I made 2 more dumb trades. Here where I got on long and immediately got stopped out for a loss of $40.50. Then right after that, I entered in a short thinking this was the break I wanted earlier. But nope, that got bought up instantly and stopped me out for a loss of $53. So yeah, mistakes were made and I forced myself to stop here with a loss of $109.42 today. So yeah, instead of ending this week with a nice short, I just got too impatient and crumbled on Friday, which brings this week's PL to a loss of $261.98, paired with a win rate of 25%. And yeah, I may have gone overboard with the trading because 27 trades, goddamn, that's like double from past weeks when I had that daily limit of 3 trades. So I guess this means with the new rules, I kind of just revert back to an overtrading degenerate. I could just switch back to the 3 trade limit, but that would be boring. So I plan on making some small tweaks to the current rules and we'll be trying them out for 1 more week at least. Is this a dumb idea? Probably. Anyways, with this loss, it also brings my journey's total PL to a loss of $820.95. So yeah, we back in the dumps again. But this week also marks the end of August, so if we take a look at the monthly stats, I managed to scrape by and end the month green with a profit of $73.20 with a win rate of 30%. So although it's not much, it's something, and it's also the first month I ended with a profit, so progress. And with that, I'll see you next week. Bye.